Welcome to this video on AQ 3D classes. In this video series, we'll be going over the many classes of AQ 3D. In this video in particular, we'll be starting with the Warrior. Like in many MMOs, Warrior is offered as the starting class for the game, alongside Mage and Rogue. If we were to apply a real-world connection to them, they'd be like a Neapolitan ice cream, with Warrior being the vanilla center. And just like vanilla, is an easy choice for someone to make if this is their first time trying an MMO game. Just as vanilla is an easy flavor to pick up for someone new to ice cream, Warrior offers the same kind of benefits to a player of a game. Unlike other classes, Warrior is one of the most easiest to learn, with most of its abilities not having to rely on things like mana, or worry about stacking a certain ability to allow you to get extra damage from the class. However, this is not to say that Warrior does not have a high skill ceiling. Many of its classes have abilities that, if you're able to master it, are very useful in the game. For example, going into the abilities of the class is its passive ability Warcry. With Warcry, every 5th attack is increased in damage. Along with this, your allies also receive a slight increase to their abilities. This means that any novice warrior in a party, while maybe not able to do as much damage as the rest of his companions, or even in a low level, is still able to provide a passive benefit to everyone he's partying with at that time. Additionally, once you understand how to use the class properly, you are able to use this ability to deal extra damage on every 5th attack to time it with parts of your combo, which will then allow you to perform even more great feats of power. And now we have the class's skills. While it is possibly not necessary to mention it, we should first talk about the auto attack, which is a melee ability which allows you to attack your opponents directly. The first of the warrior's unique skills is Sever. Sever allows you to do a quick bit of damage to your opponent. However, it is also an example of the warrior's ceiling. If a player is able to get 2 or more mobs in front of them at a time and use Sever, the attack will go through the first mob and hit the second one. While at first this may not sound interesting, it is in fact a good way to reward players for learning how to place themselves in battle, allowing you to line up and hold off using an attack right away to see if there's a better advantage you can get from using the ability later on. The next skill is known as Crushing Blow. Crushing Blow can be seen as one of Warrior's combo pieces, allowing it to combine with other abilities it has. For example, combine with the 5th trigger of Warcry allows you to do additional damage on top of Crushing Blow's already high damage amount, allowing you to do a great deal of burst damage. The final Warrior ability is known as Whirlwind, which allows the warrior to do a small AoE attack completely around it, dealing the debuff Armor Break to any opponent caught within its reach. Whirlwind is another good example of the high skill ceiling of Warrior, as a player who is able to draw a lot of aggro from the mobs around him is able to draw them into Whirlwind, and then get them with its Armor Break debuff, allowing them to then use an ability like Sever or Crushing Bone to deal additional damage on top of the damage they've done from Whirlwind. The last skill we'll go over in this video for Warrior is his ultimate skill, which can only be triggered after a certain damage requirement is met. This ability is called Earthquake. Earthquake allows the warrior to do a very large amount of damage in a very quick period of time. However, it takes a very long time to wind up, so it's important to use this ability with cooldowns and other abilities you may have. For example, if you're able to trigger Whirlwind and trigger the abilities on your Warcry, at the same time, you are able to do an extreme amount of damage with Warrior. This, potentially coupled with other classes' abilities, means that you can normally take off a large chunk of an opponent's health any time in the game once this ability is activated, and it only gets better as more triggers are added to it. Now that we've gone over the basics of Warrior's skills, let's talk about its role in combat and parties. As its name would imply, Warrior is a close-range melee fighter. This means, unlike other classes, Warrior's primary job is to deal as much DPS as possible, while also drawing aggro from some other opponents. This will allow other characters in the party to deal equal amounts of damage or perform certain actions that they can require to help with the bosses. However, with that said, the warrior should never truly worry about aggro, as that is usually the job of the tank classes. Warrior should instead focus on dealing as much damage as possible, while making sure his teammates don't have to worry. Additionally, classes like Warrior are good for farming. Thanks to abilities like Sever and Whirlwind, they are able to attack multiple enemies more than other classes can, and allow them to thereby deal more damage and claim more loot in the long run. Finally, I will go over some of my thoughts on the Warrior. Unlike other classes like Mage and Rogue, it is not burdened by mana costs or stacking abilities. As a result, Warrior is a very easy class for those new to MMOs to pick up and play, and, when they are able to master it, learn its many skills and secrets that the class has to offer, which in the long run is a very rewarding experience. Additionally, Warrior is a good standoff point and jumping off point for many players to join other classes in the game. For example, one can easily start to use Guardian or Paladin after playing Warrior, whereas they may have to readjust if they've been playing something like Rogue or Mage. In our next video, we will go over the Mage class. I hope to see you then.